y'all, I'm Kitty, and welcome to a chilling journey through the heart of New England on Mine, Missing, Murdered, Unidentified in New England. Join me as we delve deep into the enigmatic cases that have haunted the corners of Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Vermont. Buckle up, because in each episode, we'll time travel through the decade from January 1st, 2010 to December 31st, 2020. Some stories will keep you on the edge of your seat for longer, while others will offer quick, tantalizing glimpses into these mysterious tales. The truth is, these cases often shroud themselves in secrecy, leaving us with only fragments to piece together. As we embark on this haunting journey, please remember that all the research, storytelling, opinions, and even my inevitable blunders are mine alone. I promise to keep you in the loop with updates and corrections whenever possible. While we won't issue trigger warnings for the wounds that are a crucial part of these narratives, we will do so when it comes to sensitive topics like suicide, animal loss, and domestic violence. So, stay tuned, stay curious, and let's uncover the untold stories of New England together. With that, please listen in as I tell you about September 2013. September 5th, 2013. They took you away from us because of what you wore. Walter D. White, Jr. was a 19-year-old kid born on April 13th, 1994. Walter was born in Liberia to Walter D. White and Clara Kine. Walter was brother to Paul, Alvin, Prince, Bartholomew, Zachariah, Rachel, and Rose. Walter was found shot in the head and pronounced deceased at 502 Norfolk Street, Mattapan, Mass. Someone shot Walter to death in the vicinity of Norfolk and Clarkwood Streets. In the aftermath of Walter's murder, people were running their mouths about Walter and his murder, saying that he had it coming, and no witnesses came forward in the busy neighborhood, which is sad. The murder of Walter White inspired and motivated the students of East Boston High to root for change in the city of Boston. Less than 24 hours after one initiative hosted by the East Boston High NAACP to thwart gun violence went public, someone shot Walter in cold blood. On September 6th, a known and dangerous gang member was pulled over in a vehicle resembling the one that was seen fleeing the scene. Christopher Moraine was questioned for his involvement or connection to Walter's slaying. Christopher is part of the Fauve Street Gang and has a long and tumultuous list of crimes against him, including shooting a police officer in the arm, which was considered assault and battery, as well as wielding guns, dealing cocaine, and assaulting the mother of his own children. Walter is interred at Oaklawn Cemetery. Please call 1-800-494-TIPS or 1-617-343-4470 with any information. September 7th, 2013. Jody Hargrove enjoyed spending time with family and at the gym. Jody was 43 and the father of a 10, now 20-year-old daughter who divided his time between Boston, Massachusetts, and Virginia. Jody's mom, Betty, said that nobody had problems with Jody. At one point, in 2006, Jody, originally failing to stop for officers, led police officers on a car chase that ended when Jody jumped out of the vehicle at 47 Wayland Street, Roxbury, which resulted in his arrest. Jody was arrested and charged with unlawful possession of a firearm and a number of motor vehicle violations. Jody was also charged with unlawful possession of a .45 firearm and ammunition. Jody obtained his GED. And on the evening of September 7th, 2013, someone shot and killed Jody at 9:43 p.m. at 504 Blue Hill Ave, Roxbury, Mass. This area of Blue Hill Ave is near Castlegate Rd. Jody was taken to Boston Medical Center where he was pronounced deceased. At the time of his murder, Jody didn't have a job, but was working in the construction industry before that. Police have yet to disclose the motive of Jody's murder. Please call 1-800-494-TIPS or 1-617-343-4470 with any information. September 14th, 2013. Richard Alequin-Hernandez, 25, was a Springfield native who was shot to death, alongside with Jose Santiago, 20. The pair were killed in an alleyway near Chestnut Place at the corner of Chestnut and Sargeant St in Holyoke, Mass. The pair were discovered less than 100 feet away from a children's playground at Chestnut Park and between Hampshire and Sargent Streets. Te amo, papa, which means I love you, papa, in Spanish, was a note that was left behind at the memorial to Richard and Jose. That also included balloons, flowers, and messages of love and loss. Multiple weapons were utilized in these shootings. Please call 1-800-322-6940 with any information. September 14th, 2013. Nelson Castillo was shot in a parking lot adjacent to 75 Archdale Rd, Roslindale, Mass. at 12:04 a.m. on September 14th, 2013. Nelson had been married with a young daughter named Bienvenido. Please call 1-617-343-4470 with any information. September 21st, 2013. Adriana Nana Bonet, only 25, was born on October 9th, 1987, to parents Ermitaño Bonet and Sol Grisel Franco, and lived on Layford Terrace in Springfield, Massachusetts, with her 4 children. Adriana was shot one time in the abdomen and died coming out of surgery after violent shooters attacked a trio of friends, including Adriana, her friend Jonathan Rosario, and Jaton Pearson. The shooting took place at Armory and Magazine Sts, where MJ's Pizza Place stood, at 955 Worthington St, Springfield, Mass. Adriana was shot and killed half an hour after the trio argued with a group of men in the parking lot. The men left, and more men, maybe even the same men, nobody has said anything to police, dressed in red, arrived about 35 feet away. One of the men opened fire, shooting at the trio about a dozen times, striking Adriana in her torso under her left arm. Jonathan was struck in the back, and Jaton being grazed by a bullet. The 3 assailants ran to a waiting white Toyota, seen speeding away towards the Springfield Technical Community College. Adriana's murder occurred only yards away from Magazine Park. A makeshift memorial was erected in Adriana's honor, which contained candles, handwritten notes, and messages in chalk on the ground. Adriana is buried in Forest Dale Cemetery. Please call 1-413-787-6355 with any information. September 21st, 2013. I could be on the other side of the world, and he'd be there in 2 minutes, because he was that kind of hero. Brandon Daniels was the son of Joanne Daniels and Larry McCauley, born on September 21st, 1995. Brandon was the brother to Larry, Maurice, Brian, Deja, Lanisha, Kenya, and Tasha, and had a son of his own, named Brandon D. Daniels, Jr., and 2 daughters, La Brea Daniels, and Jazeera Daniels. Brandon lived on James Street and was employed at the Six Corners neighborhood Dunkin' Donuts, and was a member of the Shiloh Church of God in Christ. Brandon was, by all accounts, a good father, someone who always wanted to help, someone who was funny, a talented singer, and artist. You could never tell if Brandon was unhappy. He never let anything ruffle his feathers. Brandon once pleaded guilty to criminal contempt for not answering questions related to a murder case, and was sentenced to 141 days in Hampton County Correctional Center in Ludlow, Mass. Brandon refused to testify because he thought that his life would be in danger if he did. The people that Brandon was supposed to testify against pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter charges. After having a brief confrontation with a group of men in front of La Favorita Mini Mart and Bodega on Walnut Street in Springfield, Mass, at 10 p.m. on September 21st, 2013, some jerk, some lowlife, some person shot Brandon multiple times. Friends and family erected a shrine to Brandon. Police have not released a motive. Please call 1-413-787-6355 with any information. If you have any questions, complaints, or concerns about the podcast you encountered here today, please message me at minepodcast@gmail.com. That's mine with 2 M's, 2 I's, 1 N, 1 E at gmail.com. And thank you so much for listening. Later, y'all.